People underestimate the intensity of having to return back home after you've done everything that you possibly could to escape the very environment that told you that you were smaller than you felt inside of your body. I did everything that I could to get away from having to ever come back and live and be up under the rule of my family or up under the scrutiny of my family. I understand the way that my family has been conditioned, programmed, traditioned to exist and thrive in this world. A lot of black families, a lot of people just up under these capitalistic, patriarchal hamster wheel systems. A lot of us uphold this aesthetic, that everything has to look a specific way. And if it looks good, then it is good. But for me, being the child in this family, I remember my great grandmother, whose house I'm living in currently with her daughter, which is my grandmother. She was from Marshall, Texas, born in the 20s. We went to Marshall, I think, in 2008, was the last time that we went. And I remember the cemeteries were still segregated. There was a white side of the cemetery where you can drive up and through and see how cemeteries look here on the west coast, or anywhere else that I had been, that you can drive through. There are, the plots, then there's the mausoleum or whatever that's called. But where her mother was buried, my great grandmother in her 80s, we had to peel a fence back and crawl up under the fence. And someone had gone through there and took a sledgehammer to all of the tombstones. And so there was weeds high up, actually looking like our backyard here looks right now, that we need to get together. But we had to dig. We had to dig for my great grandmother's mother's burial plot because of the segregation, because of the suppression, because of the can't even get the word out, because of because of the marginalization, um, because of the slavery, because of the enslavement of real human bodies, and because that slavery has transformed. And as a former correctional officer, I have worked in a modern day slavery system inside of the prisons here in California. Because that same enslavement has transformed several times over, and because it's digital now, and because it's mostly mental and emotional now, we incarcerate ourselves. We are incarcerated inside of our own bodies. And we continue to perpetuate the incarceration of ourselves by upholding aesthetic while the inside of the body suffers. And we wonder why we become so sick. My mother was one of the most gorgeous, vibrant women ever, and she died one day after her 52nd birthday, 1 month after I turned 29. And I grew up. I was raised by someone, a beautician, who knew how to make things look much more beautiful than they actually were. Living that life is the epitome of suffering to me. I have been a celebrity chef. I have dated in the industry. I know what it is like to be able to uphold an image, to make things look like they are much more beautiful than they actually are. Yet I feel like it has been such a disservice to myself over these years to ignore. If I ever did, I don't even think I really did. I've always been a seeker of peace, a seeker of freedom. Like, I want to be free. I want my people to be free, even if that means they have to be free away from me. I want to be free, even if that means that I got to be free away from you. So if I love you, yet your love, the way that you show it, is an imposition on my peace and my freedom, then I have to love you away from me. And same thing, vice versa. And coming back home to this place where me, as this little black, gay, queer, vibrant, talk a lot, yapping, always trying to entertain child who was forced into smallness because the way that I existed, nobody knew how to nurture it. Everybody just said, oh, you too grown, and oh, you too this. Every fucking thing that I did was a problem. So I learned how to navigate this place and go and get my motherfucking freedom. And life has called me back here. My grandmother is elderly. And so just in the same way that I took care of my mama in her last days, God has assigned me to take care of my grandmother in her last days as well, as she is in her transition. And she's been taking care of me in the ways that I've needed to be taken care of. Because the intensity of losing your mother, returning back home to where everybody else has their mothers. Even my daddy got his mama. My aunties, they got their mama. They complain, like we do, about having to deal with our parents, us having to deal with the people that make us feel like we're contracted or we have to contract in order to even be in their presence. We get attitudes. We don't want to fuck with that. There was plenty of times when my mama was very sick, and the vulnerability of having to take care of somebody who I wanted to free myself from. Because I hated fucking pretending. And I hated the fact that everybody thought that, oh, your mama is Betty? Yeah, she's pretty. She got these big breasts. Everybody fucking love her. And she's depressed. And at home, it's tough. It's tough to be a fucking teenager. I wanted my mama to stay gone. And she stayed gone. She stayed gone. I was grown way before 18. Way before 18. And because my father was also not in the States, not in this state, not in working, he was working out of state most of my life, I spent a lot of time alone. And the freedom has always been what I have been chasing after. So to come back home to this womb space and to have to remember and to practice my radical dedication to peace, my radical dedication to my freedom, owning still, even when I'm the one who fucks up, but holding people to when they fuck up, expecting the same amount of accountability and grace, and otherwise it's imbalanced and we can't rock. I gotta love you away from me. Sometimes life will call you back to the exact same places that made you feel like you were small, so that you can bring yourself back home to wholeness. You can come back and snatch that little kid that the great grandma took, a broom and knocked me in my head, and I snatched the broom and threw that motherfucker in the street, and I was 10 years old. Cause why would you hit me in my head? I had a big ass knot. People was just laughing. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw stars. My great grandma was 80 something years old and still chasing us around and beat me in the head with a motherfucking broomstick because I was out here playing with me and my cousins were out here playing, but of course I was the one who got hit. Of course. Of course. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. She made sure she never did that shit again. Cause next time, it wasn't gonna be me throwing the broom in the street. Cause you're not about to hit me in my motherfucking head, bitch. I don't give a fuck if you are my great grandmother. And I believe in ancestral veneration. Shit. So, bitch, it's up. It's up. And me and my grandma, we good. We good. She's still housing me. She's still housing me. And I'm 34, almost 35 years old. She has provided me with space to come back home to myself, to come back and get that little boy. I had to come back and get that little boy who deserved to be loved, who deserved to be held, who deserved to be apologized to, who deserved grace and understanding and celebration and upliftment and encouragement, rather than, well, stop this and, calm yourself down and just you being gay. That's not a God. I've been pulling motherfuckers' cards, okay? Because if me loving another human being is not of God, then what the fuck is all this shit that y'all been doing around here that I've been watching y'all do since I was a motherfucking kid? Y'all got me fucked up. I didn't even notice I had that little dust on me. But don't worry about that. Worry about the message. Oh my gosh, 12 minutes? Okay. I'm gonna let y'all go. If you watch this, I pray you got a key. And if you have had to return home, you go and get that little boy and you go and get that little girl. And treat them, give them the unconditional love that they have always deserved, because that is why Spirit has called you back. Much love. Ashe.